Hello, and welcome to another episode of Outsmart Charles Bennett. I'm Charles Bennett, and you're not. Let's meet tonight's contestants. A healthcare benefits denier from Long Beach, Brandon. An architect from Palo Alto, Osma. And a theater teacher from the Inland Empire, Danny. You may notice that Danny and Brandon are gluttons for punishment. Let's take a look at tonight's categories. Literature, art history, fear and loathing in Los Angeles. They come in fours. Give me a date, please. Most things to do with the NBA. Always natural, always fresh, and dead white guys. Brandon, I believe it's your board.
I'd really like to say give me dead white guys, but I don't want that category, so I'm gonna go with fear and loathing in Los Angeles.
All questions must be answered while smoking cheap cigarettes in a 50s convertible and wearing a Hawaiian shirt. This Los Angeles neighborhood is associated with the motion picture industry.
What is it, Burbank?
John, we may have to give that one too.
I mean, Hollywood would be.
Hollywood is the answer we were going.
Okay.
But there are enough film and television studios in Burbank that probably, which by the way is a separate city, that probably could be an acceptable answer. Buildings at this Los Angeles University include the Ronald Reagan Medical Center, Royce Hall, and Pauley Pavilion.
I am but a poor boy who went to a Cal State University, so I'm not sure the answer to this one, but I'm going to go with UCLA because of the number of alumni on this game right now.
Yes, however, you may not be aware of this. I am not one of those alumni.
Neither am I.
My master's is from SC.
Nice. Okay.
Of the red, blue, green, purple, gold, or expo lines, the one that you could have taken to the Heritage Square or the Southwest Museum.
Oh, see, I was too poor to go to a university like USC or UCLA, but I was too well off to take the metro everywhere. We'll just go with the gold line.
Well, you took a shot in the dark and you hit your target. You would have also accepted its current name, the L line. Osma, I believe it's your board.
Let's go with literature.
Danny, I suppose you're pretty angry at her for picking that category, having taught high school English.
This is one that'll go to me. It's okay. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of confidence, so maybe Danny will thank me.
Holden Caulfield is the protagonist of this coming-of-age novel.
Catcher in the Rye.
That's correct. This author wrote the plays Death of a Salesman, The Crucible, and All My Sons.
Oh no. I've done two of those plays too. Pass.
Danny, you wanna clean up on this one?
Yeah, Arthur Miller.
I should certainly hope you know who wrote The Crucible.
These are all great American plays. I love all of them.
In my defense, the last time I worked on The Crucible was in 2002. It's a long time ago.
20 years ago.
The Muckraker, Christian, and Mr. Feeblemind are characters in this allegorical novel.
Pass.
The Pilgrims Progress.
Yep.
That was a nice shot in the dark. I'm I don't know any other allegorical novels outside of Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. So, true story. My mom tried buying me a copy when I was a kid. She's like, "You would love this," and it's written in 17th century or 18th century English, and I'm like, "Mom, I have no idea what's going on here." She's like, "Oh," and super disappointed.
Danny, the next category is yours.
Let's go with most things to do with the NBA.
This player for the Cleveland Cavaliers, Miami Heat, and LA Lakers was NBA MVP in 2009, 2010, 2012, and 2013.
Who is LeBron James? Dropped 56 points on the Golden State Warriors yesterday, even though the Lakers are terrible.
The duo, the Splash Brothers, consists of these two Golden State Warriors players.
Steph Curry and Klay Thompson?
That's correct.
Cool.
Of the Anderson Packers, Bloomington Packers, Chicago Packers, Cleveland Packers, Green Bay Packers, or Pittsburgh Packers, the two that are former NBA franchises.
Oh, all right. Shot in the dark, Anderson Packers and the Chicago Packers. Why not?
Why not, indeed? That's correct.
What?
Anderson and Chicago. Our contestants are now 2 for 2 on that. The Anderson Packers were a part of the Industrial National Basketball League prior to 1949, and they played one season in the NBA. The Chicago Packers also played a single season, the year that Walt Bellamy was drafted, and then they renamed themselves the Chicago Zephyrs and then became the Baltimore Bullets, which I believe we discussed in one of our other episodes. So Danny, you are in the lead with 55 points. Brandon has 30. Osma has 5. And Brandon, the next category is yours.
And I'll take a shot in the dark and go with They Come in Fours.
The 4 tops, 4 freshmen, and the 4 diamonds are examples of these.
Musical groups?
Musical groups or quartets. Traditionally, they are war, slaughter, famine, and death, not a Notre Dame backfield.
The 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse?
That's correct. Name Franklin Roosevelt's 4 freedoms.
See, this is one of those smart questions I was worried about. I don't know. Truth, liberty, freedom, justice.
That's incorrect. Osma, do you want to ring in?
No, I'll pass.
Danny, want to take a stab at the 4 freedoms?
I will also pass. Don't know that. Enlighten us, Charles.
Well, the first freedom is freedom of speech. The second is freedom of religion. The third is freedom from want. And the fourth is freedom from fear. And yes, I am standing in front of a picture of FDR when I'm saying this, because there's a picture of FDR in my dining room.
And doing a decent impression, too. Nice. Yeah. Nothing to fear but fear itself.
My friends, I want to talk to you for a few minutes about banking.
Next to my fireplace, over the radio, because it's 1942.
1933, Danny.
Oh.
1933. First fireside chat was 33. There's my fireside.
I'll go with always natural.
This category brought to you by the Foster Farms Chickens. I've been told Foster Farms is not a sponsor. I'm hearing that through my non-existent earpiece. Frogs and salamanders are this type of animal.
Amphibian?
That's correct.
Yay!
These California trees can be over 200 feet tall and 1,000 years old.
Okay, so it's either a redwood tree or it's a sequoia.
We are accepting either of those.
Oh, all right. Well, there we go.
One species of this vulture is native to California.
Is it the turkey vulture?
Nope. Danny, you want to try and steal?
Is it the California condor?
It is the California condor.
As in California high school condors?
And Danny, I believe the next category is yours.
Let's go with art history.
Cubism, surrealism, and op art are movements that occurred in this century.
The 1920s, I believe, or 20th century.
20th century.
Yeah, not decade, century. Got it. Okay.
The cathedral at Aachen, or Aix la Chapelle, was built during the reign of this Holy Roman Emperor.
Oh, I'm gonna pass.
Brandon for the state.
I have no clue, but I'm still going to attempt it because I'm only going to lose 1 point. So I'm going to say Augustus.
Nope. Osma.
Oh man, I should know this because it's a piece of architecture.
Yes, you should know this. Even if you didn't take, even if you're not an architect, you should kind of know this because this is a 200-point question, not a 300.
I don't know it though.
Okay, nobody could come up with Charlemagne?
Oh, Charlemagne. My next step is going to be Constantine because I'm like, okay, it has to happen after Constantine, like, franchised Christianity. So it's like, oh, well, the only one I could think of is Constantine.
Emanuel Lutzi's most famous painting depicts this Revolutionary War event.
Shot in the dark. The crossing of the Delaware.
That's correct. Washington crossing the Delaware.
Revolutionary War painting I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So.
You know what's funny is he painted it while he was in Germany and without actually having seen the event. Let's take a look at the scores. Osma has 19, which I believe translates to 1.8 Steffens. Brandon has 43, and Danny is in the lead with 90. We'll be right back to pay for buying discount hams after Easter. Is this show airing after Easter? Wait a minute. When is this show airing?
I don't know.
We'll see.
In about a month.
Week, so 40 days from now.
No, didn't Lent just start?
Yeah.
The 12th. April 12th.
No, that's Holy Week.
All right, good enough.
We'll be right back after we pay for buying discount hams at an after Easter discount ham sale.
Outsmart Charles is made possible by viewers like you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and share our link to help grow our channel. If you want to further support the show or have access to bonus content, subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/OutsmartCharles.
Upon further review, our judges have determined that Osma's answer of turkey vulture was correct, as they are native to California, so we have adjusted her score accordingly. Welcome back to Outsmart Charles. I'm going to ask each contestant about the silliest mishaps they've ever been in, starting with Osma.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know how, maybe I'm overselling this, but yes, I was in the kitchen and I was taking, I have my food processor on a very high shelf, and the blade of the food processor is in a box on this very high shelf. And so onto the ground, and I heard a clatter, and I decided to take a step back to see what had happened. And in the process, I sliced open my foot. It was very clean. It was like a very sharp blade. And basically like the side and half, just kind of like a nice of the pandemic, where I had just learned that one of my best friends was so paranoid that she was like not seeing anybody. I like didn't feel comfortable calling her because I didn't want her to like be uncomfortable, but I really needed to go and get stitches. It was just like bleeding, trying to like get emergency medical gear to try and soak up all the blood. My husband was on a hike and he was an hour into a hike, so he was basically unreachable. And in after bleeding in my bathroom for about 20 minutes, my neighbor, bless his soul, picked up my phone call and came and drove me to the ER. And it's also the first time I've ever had stitches. The blade is still in my possession. It's now on a lower shelf.
What's a low shelf? I do not know this term, low shelf.
Charles, you're making.
I am making a tall joke. I'm 6'1".
There you go.
Well, I can get under spaces very easy.
Touché.
Grabbing things may not be my forte.
Brandon, what's the silliest mishap that ever befell you?
This is so stupid. I was hosting a showing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show at the Warner Grand Theater, which is a 3,000 seat performing arts theater, and we'd never had a show before ours that used the organ on stage to host the show. The lights hadn't come up yet, and I walked right off the edge of the stage and fell into the orchestra pit. It was like a nightmare because I couldn't see what was happening. I had no idea, like my brain was not processing as it happened what had happened. So I guess it's less silly and more terrifying because I could have definitely impaled myself on one of the many orchestra stands underneath it. Luckily, I just landed on my wrist on concrete about 10 feet down. So I had so much adrenaline that I ran up the stairs backstage and came out on stage to an audience that had no idea what had happened. You could tell what happened when they saw the big curve in my arm. And I went out there long enough to hand it off to my co-host, and then went backstage and went to the ER and got all that taken care of. So that was cool.
You didn't embarrass yourself in front of any celebrities, did you?
I know we're talking about the Rocky Horror Picture Show here, so there are absolutely no celebrities.
As a theater educator, it's my worst nightmare. Like my school has a ridiculously stupid orchestra pit that has like no railing or any kind of like barrier to be like, oh, there's an orchestra pit there. And it's just all realized 20 feet down, you know? Yeah.
Well, good news. If it does happen, they might survive to tell about it on a trivia game show 10 years later.
Just if you fall into the orchestra pit at the high school I went to, just don't fall on the orchestra organ.
Well, your high school has a a really nice orchestra pit. It's huge, bigger than the one at my school, but at least that one has like a little like there's like have some kind of sense of when it's coming. My school like has nothing. It's just drops off. My story is theater related as well, so but it wasn't walking off it was falling off of a set. So
was this at Whittier High or somewhere else?
it was at community theater. I think it was while I was at Whittier High though. I was probably in high. I do stupid things all the time, but I just can't think of anything specific at the time. And it's the only thing that comes to mind.
I guess the title of this episode is going to be Falling into Orchestra Pits or something like that.
So the reason why I don't teach my theater courses in my theater anymore, because students would go into the orchestra pit and hide.
In the final 3 categories, point values are doubled and passes go to the left. Brandon, please choose from Give Me a Date, please. Always Fresh and
I'm gonna go with Always Fresh.
Will Smith rose to fame in this 1990s comedy.
What is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
That's correct. This group sang a song about being so fresh and so clean.
That was Outkast. And I think I'd have to give back my 90s kid card if I do that.
This NPR Progress is a long-form interview show where celebrities go one-on-one with host Terry Gross.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Brandon Humphrey, and I'm only familiar with All Things Considered on NPR. Let me think. I'm just going to go with it.
I believe now. No, it should go. It passes to the left this round, John. Danny, do you
We're
want
on
to
with
steal this
Charles
question?
Bennett, and I'm Terry Gross. This is Fresh Air.
That's correct.
No,
Brandon, have you heard
not
of the
familiar.
show Fresh Air?
I have. I probably would have cleaned up that category.
Let's do Give Me a Date, please.
Okay. For each of these categories, you must name the year or the event occurred.
I was kind of hoping it'd be like pickup lines.
Yeah, see, missed opportunity.
The first moon landing. First man on the moon.
1969.
1969 is correct.
Oh, 18...
California State.
Oh,
Danny,
go
let
ahead.
me read the question. California statehood. Hint, as a result of the compromise of this year.
1856?
Nope.
Close.
Osma. Usma.
1850.
1850 is correct.
What? You can see how much confidence I had in that.
Okay. The Great Fire of Rome.
Pass.
Usma.
Maybe the year. 600.
No, not even close. Brandon.
This is pre-internet, correct?
Yeah.
I have no. Are we allowed to say anything we want? I have no clue. You can bleep me if you want, but I have no idea. I was going to pass on any of these date questions.
Okay, the correct answer is AD 64. Nero was emperor.
Yeah, I knew it had to be like in the first 300 years because he used the rise of Christianity as an excuse to burn the city down. But
and
I
also
couldn't tell you what specific year.
excuse to martyr Saints Peter and Paul.
Mm.
Now, Usma, the last category is yours, and it is Dead White Guys.
Alrighty.
Sadly, this comedian of Mrs. Doubtfire and Flubber fame died by suicide in
The
2014.
wonderful Robin Williams.
And that's correct. The only American president never elected to national office, he was continually lampooned by Chevy Chase in the initial seasons of Saturday Night Live.
George Washington? I don't know.
George Washington was before television. Brandon for the
I
steal.
believe it was Gerald Ford.
It was Gerald Ford. This 7th century English monk and historian wrote the Ecclesiastical History of the English People, one of the first major works to use Anno Domini.
Saint Benedict?
No. Brandon for the steal.
How many points do I lose if I get this wrong?
1.
I guess. Oh, Felonius?
That's incorrect. Now, Danny, do you want to answer this question incorrectly 20 or 30 times?
I'll answer incorrectly once. The Archbishop of Canterbury.
Okay,
I
we
have
were
no
looking
idea.
for Saint Bede the Venerable. My dad doesn't seem to be anywhere around here, but he knows
Saint
that.
Bede?
Come on, no. Bede.
Bede.
B-E-D-E. Come on, people. You don't know your medieval English monks? What did they teach you in 7th grade? Who was your 7th grade history teacher? I do teach 7th grade history and 6th grade and 5th grade and a lot of grades of history and other stuff. All they ever do is they just sit in a corner by the fireplace reading McGuffey's Eclectic Reader. If you had McGuffey's Eclectic Reader on your bingo card, that's a shot. I mean, come on. Isn't this the show people watch to have random references to McGuffey's eclectic.
I think
theater.
if you're going to reference that, this would be the show for it.
Anyway, let's take a look at those scores.
Usma has 62.
Brandon has 92, and going to face me in the final round, Danny has 128. We're going to take this short break to find out how to save me on car insurance.
Think you can outsmart me? I don't think so. But if you want to try, go to bit.ly/outsmartcharles and fill out our contestant submission form. We're always looking for new challengers.
Welcome back to Outsmart Charles. Danny returned and has made it to the final round to face off against Charles in categories of their choosing and my attempt to write questions that could possibly stump them. Tonight's categories are Crayola crayon colors, Jeopardy, the Bible, its content, history, and church history in general, the Fab Four, Beatles Trivia, and the movies, the Academy Awards and its winners. Danny, you have first choice. Where shall we go?
Let's start with the movies, the Academy Awards and its winners.
What 2019 film was the first non-English language film to win an Oscar
Parasite.
for Best Picture? That is correct. What silent war film was the first Best Picture Oscar winner?
All is Quiet on the Western Front.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Charles for the steal.
Wings.
Wings. Wings is correct. Have you seen
Um,
Wings,
that's
Charles?
probably- I don't know if I've seen it except in clips of the Academy Awards where they reference it in films that have won Best Picture before.
I think, fun fact, no one has seen Wings. What movie was the first to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature?
Shrek, I believe.
Shrek is correct. What two categories were combined into one at the 93rd Academy Awards?
Ooh, was it production design and it's like art concept. I don't know. I'm gonna have to production design and some other one that basically became like art concept or something. I don't remember. I know I'm wrong.
All right,
That's
we'll
okay.
pass this to Charles.
The other one is art direction, isn't it? Art direction and production design? Are those the two that were combined?
Those are not the two that were combined in this one. Probably should have given the year on it. It was a recent one. This was Best Sound Mixing and Best Sound Editing.
Oh, they made that into one?
Yep.
Interesting.
Nobody knew the difference between the two of them except the people who actually did the job, and so they got tired of explaining it every single year on the ceremony. What 1981 movie was the first to win the Academy Award for Best Makeup and Hairstyling?
1981. Was it like Batman Returns?
It was not. Charles with Steele.
I'm tempted to say it was Tootsie, but I thought Tootsie might have been 82.
It was not Tootsie. I think they got rid of it now, but there was for a brief time a makeup and effects exhibit and show at the Universal Studios in Florida, where they showed off the effects for An American Werewolf in London. The transformation into the werewolf.
Werewolves of London. Do 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 do.
All right, that was
That's my action.
decently tough. There wasn't too many points given up either way. Charles. where to
Time for the Jeopardy.
All right, this is the Jeopardy category. For this category, I will require all answers to be in the form of a question, just for fun. Jeopardy was created in 1964 by this host of Play Your Hunch and Keep
At
Talking.
least I'll get 5 points out of this. Who is Merv Griffin?
Who is Merv Griffin is the correct question. A Merv Griffin production. He was the host of Jeopardy when Weird Al recorded I Lost on Jeopardy in 1983.
That was still Art Fleming.
Ooh, I'm going to pass this one to Danny.
The host.
Yes.
I only know one host, so Alex Trebek.
Ooh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a bit of a trick
Whoa,
question
whoa,
there.
whoa,
Art
whoa.
Fleming was the...
Whoa, are you gonna? Please do not tell me you're going to say the host was Don Pardo. He was the announcer.
1983. In 1983, Jeopardy was not on the air. It was off the air from 79 to 84. And Art Fleming already had turned down returning as host when it would be relaunched in 84, and they had not yet gotten Alex Trebek. Yeah, that was a trick question. It was nobody. Nobody was the host in 1983. He holds the record for the highest single game winnings in Jeopardy at $131,127.
Who is James Holtzhauer?
Trick question. It was actually 131, 128. It's nobody. No, that was James Holtzhauer. Yeah, I'm not going to do that trick question again. That was mean. On November 23rd, 2021, contestant Matt King broke this Jeopardy record.
Does he hold the record for finishing Double Jeopardy and most in the hole?
I'll give that to you with that. Yes, the lowest score in Jeopardy. at negative $6,400.
Now you've come up with something completely ridiculous and pedantic, even more ridiculous and pedantic than host of in 1983.
Let's hope. Let's hope. All right. And I will be putting on the 30-second timer for this one. This is the highest possible score in a game of Jeopardy.
Counting or not counting the daily doubles?
The highest possible. If all goes the optimal way that you could possibly have it go in a game of Jeopardy, this is the highest score ever possible, conceivable, in a single game of Jeopardy.
Okay. 600 times. Oh, Lord. At least I know that if I don't get this right, I doubt Danny can either.
Danny, start doing your math now. I'm gonna give you 10 more seconds.
I'm not going to get it. I'm just going to say it's. I need a pencil and paper. That's much better. Is it 142,400?
No, Danny, for the steal.
300,000. Just a wild guess.
You are closer, but we're not going to play prices
Oh,
right
I
here.
forgot. I forgot to.
56,000. Yeah, you forgot to double it a bunch of times.
I think I can explain the math. I didn't have enough time to
All
do
right,
it.
556,400.
Okay.
I'm gonna skip putting out the answer.
Hold on,
just 'cause
my dad's walking in. Dad, they didn't know who Bede was. I assume the way the math works is get everything right in single Jeopardy. My MB allocators will get mad at me for that term. Get everything right in single Jeopardy and get the daily double as the last clue in a 200-point area. Bet it all, get it right, and do it all over again in double Jeopardy, getting the daily doubles as the last two questions, and they're both 400. The lowest point possible, 400 in double Jeopardy, and then in Final Jeopardy,
Yes,
betting it all. And
near
getting it right.
impossibility that would ever happen. Danny, where to next?
Let's do Fab Four Beatles Trivia.
Probably something I know less about than the Holy Scripture.
Who were the Fab Four members that made up the Beatles?
Paul McCartney, George Harrison, John Lennon, Ringo Starr.
That's correct. Starting up easy for you. Ringo Starr is the stage name for what member of the Order of the British Empire?
Richard Starkey.
A little more specific, take in the consideration the wording of the question there.
Sir Richard Starkey.
There we go. Not deny him his title. Formed in 1956, what was the name of John Lennon's skiffle band before the Beatles?
The Quarrymen.
Correct. Controversy arose from the original Bloody Butcher cover of what album?
Ooh, I want to say it's Meet the Beatles.
I'm sorry, no. Charles for the steal.
Is it Hard Day's Night? Oh.
We're looking for Yesterday and Today. Yesterday and
Man.
Today. Have you seen that cover?
Yeah, it's got like a bunch of doll parts.
Yeah.
And they're like,
All right. This next question is a tough one. But let's see. I didn't know how tough of Beatles trivia I was going to need to write for you. As mentioned in a Rolling Stone interview, what was the full sentence of the tape loop from which Lennon took a voice saying number 9 in Revolution
as
9?
mentioned in a Rolling Stone interview, what was the full sentence of the tape loop? Okay, so it's something like I'm not going to get this, but it's something like John is Superman, or I don't remember. Paul was the walrus. I don't remember. I don't remember exactly what it was. I know it's like really weird and out
All
there and
right,
esoteric.
Charles, let's see if you can steal this one. It's all tied up.
John is Superman, Paul is the walrus, and George drank a bottle of love potion number 9.
Oh, that did include the words number 9, so that was good to try to steal there. It was This Is EMI Test Series number 9.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was like a
I
EMI
thought
recording.
about guessing, like maybe he recorded it at a deli, and maybe the guess was now serving number 9.
It was a pre-existing tape loop that John Lennon took and made into that, and apparently there's no reason anyone should know that, but it is documented somewhere, so
if Danny wants
theoretically knowable.
If Danny wants to win this one, he's going to have to steal some from
Yeah,
me.
either colors or
I feel
whatever
like you
the
know
Bible.
something about the Bible, so I'm going to pick Crayola crayon colors.
All right, Crayola crayon colors, as written by someone who's colorblind, In 1996, Crayola celebrated their 100 billionth crayon by publishing this color, credited to Mr. Fred Rogers.
I believe it was Blue Ribbon was their 100 millionth color.
That is correct. This 1994 line of Crayola crayons was changed in 95 because of complaints from parents over children eating them.
Is that the color and smell crayons?
Is not the title we're looking for. Danny for the steal.
Yeah, I don't know the specific title, but it's scented colors, scented fruit scents. I don't know. Scented. I don't know. It's definitely they smell good, and so therefore that's the premise.
Well, since I didn't give it to Charles, I'm not going to give you the points for that. There's magic scent crayons.
Magic
scent crayons. I think the later version of that line is the one that Charles said, but they had them, a lot of them named after foods, and they switched them to not be named after foods. And Crayola was like, there were only like 5 kids that did that, so come on. And they're non-toxic. Like, no one got hurt from eating them. In 1926, Crayola acquired Munsell Color Company and released a set of 22 crayons with combinations of these 5 principal hues plus middle gray and black. So looking for 5 colors here.
5 principal hues. Just 5, not 6?
Yes, just 5.
Okay, red, blue, yellow, green, and violet are my guesses.
I'll give that to you. I'm gonna be nice here.
Was it indigo?
They called it purple.
Oh.
Purple. Red, yellow, green, blue, and purple. But
Subsequent
I'll allow
crayon
that.
colors are violet. Like there's violet red, there's violet blue, there's blue violet, there's red violet. No wait, violet blue they changed to indigo.
In the 1995 set of Crayola changeables, applying the color changer crayon to red would produce this color.
Green.
Sorry, Danny for the steal.
Applying the color changer to red would produce blue.
Blue is correct.
Oh, nice.
Hey,
Tied it up. This is great.
Danny's gonna just make a desperation. I'm gonna get this next one wrong, and then Danny's gonna make some desperation fling at the buzzer, and he's gonna outsmart me.
I was looking at all the color change things, and like I didn't spend too long looking at it, but I was trying to figure out like what the scientific process was
This
for
would
why it
be
changed
so much easier
red to blue.
if he just focused on the ones that actually are in a standard box of 64 Crayola crayon.
Yeah, that'd be boring.
colors.
You should have said standard box of 64 crayon colors, and then maybe the questions would all be about that. But nope, you had Crayola color crayons. You were too broad, Charles. All right, it all comes down to this one. Let's see if you can prevent Danny from getting the steal here. And this is another complex answer. In 1992, Crayola released a set of these 8 multicultural crayons intended to represent various skin tones. So looking for 8 colors here.
They actually named all 8 of those colors?
Yeah, interestingly, these colors exist outside of this set as well. They were just included here to represent skin tones.
Okay. Peach, apricot, yellow, melon, raw sienna, raw umber, brown, and burnt sienna.
Not correct. Danny for the steal.
There's no way I'm gonna get this. But I'm like, how? The thing is, like, how racist was the Crayola crayon?
We can talk about that in a minute.
corporation?
Let's say how racist were they in 92? That's the
Now, if you ask them how racist were they in 42,
Okay, 8 colors, skin tones. Okay, white, black, brown, yellow. We'll start there. There's 4.
oh no, I just realized what color was a color that might have been in there that I should have guessed because they hadn't changed the name of that color yet.
I think Charles said there was a color called melanin. I'll go with that. Sure. There's 5. Peach 6. I need something between like chocolate brown. I know I'm getting this wrong. And I don't know. I need one more color. No, I can't even give a bad joke color. And burnt red. Sure, we'll go with that. Some kind of burnt red.
John, John, don't tell me that they put Indian red in this mix. Did they put Indian red in this
Thankfully,
mix?
no. This was they learned a bit of a lesson because they had changed skin tone. This was, I think, in response to them previously having the color skin tone, which was changed to peach.
Flesh
The set
was
included
what they
black,
called it.
white, flesh. That's right, flesh. Black, white, tan, sepia, peach, mahogany,
Oh, I
burnt
got
sienna,
three.
and
I
apricot.
got
You had a
peach,
couple of those
apricot,
right in
burnt
there.
sienna.
Yeah, I think you might have even said black or white. At least Danny got those. Yeah, you get pretty close on there. Just not.
I
not
think
completely.
they've wised up. I think that when they produce the multicultural skin tone colors, they stop giving them names in subsequent sets. Anyway, Danny, ties do go to me. In
Of
this
course.
game. You have not outsmarted me.
Well, it was a well-played game, Charles. I appreciate being asked again. And it just means I got to come back again and
That's
see if I can
right.
beat you.
And you'll probably be entered in one of our Tournament of Champions. So anyway, join us next week for another episode of Outsmart Charles.